Okay, apparently I'm live, which is good. Good to know. Good to know we're live. Let me get the chat happening. Gotta go to the other window and pop out the chat. Okie dokie, ready and rolling. I did this without any warning, so just gotta wait for the peeps to join. So if you happen to be watching this back later, it's just you and me, just having some private time. But now everyone's going to come in. Gamer Frostjump, how are you doing? I am fine, thank you. Hope the world is treating you well. Just thought it'd be time chill because I didn't do a live stream on Tuesday because, in simple terms, I wasn't in the mood. Yes, took a night off, made a video. Hey Adele, how are you? Nice to see you. Okay, that's cool. Hi Charlie, how are you? Pizza Gaming, do I like men? Some men are okay. Yeah. So, probably depends on the individual man. Dude, dislocated your right shoulder. I haven't dislocated mine, but I've done, I don't know, some muscle damage in at the joint. I've been going to a physio. It's got shoulders taped up at the moment, actually. It does all these probing things, and I'm supposed to do these exercises. It's getting a bit better now, but it's not as bad as dislocating it. Damn. Evolve, he's asking if I'm gay. You think? Hi, Jahatma. Well, I mean, I don't mind if someone asks that. I mean, from my point of view, I think there's only one reason to ask if I'm gay, and that's if you want to suck my dick. So, flattered, but not doing it. Oh, that's shit, Adele. The kids set up an active shooter hoax at my sister's school. That's a good way to fucking ruin your future. Doing a hoax like will get you in a shit ton of trouble. I mean, that's the thing. People say, "Oh, you gay?" Well, the only reason to ask would be if you wanted to suck my dick. Like if you're a guy and asking, you're hopeful. And if you're a girl and asking, you're hoping I'm not. In fact, both would be disappointed because I'm in a monogamous relationship. So although sexually I go for the ladies, I'm taken, I'm afraid. Del, I'm glad you're not too shaken up, but no, that's an awful thing. I mean, Christ, I'm so old it wasn't even a thing when I was at school. You'd call in bomb threats because that's all anyone believed. Bomb threats. Smiley nerd. Well, no one's sucking dick yet, but I don't know. I think some people are interested. That's what I think's going on. And look, that's it. We're all healthy about sexuality here. No kink shaming. No marginalising people because of their consensual choices. It's just that I might have to disappoint people. Finn, why am I so mean? Gosh, I don't know. Because dickheads won't learn if you don't hit them with a big stick. I don't know. It's or because it's fun. Yeah, that could be another reason. Oh, it was a Snapchat. That's interesting. Okay. So Adele, you're saying the active shooter hoax, someone started it on Snapchat and it got spread around. Yeah. Social media will do that. The old rumor mill. Charlie, your high school had a bomb threat from a weird UFO fanatic. Well, there are some weird people out there. Jam, that's a good one. Ask AZ if he's read Dark Emu by Bruce Pascoe. Ah, nice. I think that's something he'd be interested in. Dark Emu, a study proves that Australian Aboriginals farmed, kept food surplus. That is interesting. Smiley nerd, look, who's not down for kinks, quite honestly? That's the thing. Hey, Frankie, how's it going? Actually, speaking of AIDSy, I did talk to him just yesterday. Might see if he can call in. Thank you, Finn. I like these glasses too. I got them last year. Well, let's just see if Ozzy. There's the thing I don't like doing, messaging him in case he's asleep. Pizza Gaming, my opinion on the weather. My God. I mean, we do talk about a lot of things, but oh geez, that's real small talk stuff though. The weather. We finally got some cool, a little bit cold. It's a little bit cold overnight here after getting bizarrely. We always get some warm days in April, but the first half of the month was bizarrely warm. Frankie, I haven't shown him the dessert yet. I think he would. That's definitely his type of dessert, though. But Charlie, the UFO person thought your school was built on top of a spaceship, so wanted to blow it up. Okay. Finn, what's my opinion on gays? I don't form opinions based on people's sexualities. I'm not bothered by people and their consensual sexual activity. I form opinions based on people's behavior and things they do, not what they're into sexually. Was it Chapman? There was a dog on your primary school. You got locked down because there was a dog? Did it look scary? Like, was it an angry dog? Oh, Game of Frost, you're taking beer for the pain. I know that feeling, man. This may or may not be a double bourbon in lemonade. Dogs, dogs, dogs. Nobody's. But the interesting thing, you know, to me, the most interesting thing about Indigenous Australians is, okay, we've now got evidence that Indigenous population has been here for 40 to 60,000 years. That's close to incontrovertible. Archaeology is imprecise, but it's close to incontrovertible that Indigenous people have been here 40 to 60,000 years. But it's like, we're a fucking island. How did they get here? Like, people go, oh, from the Pacific Islands by boat. No, from in seafaring terms, the Australian mainland is a fair way away from other islands and archipelagos. And how did you get a viable population here 40 to 60,000 years ago when seafaring wasn't that advanced? It would be basically people floating on a log. How do you get a whole population? And we don't have any hominid ancestors here. All the prehistoric creatures here were marsupials. There were no ape-like ancestors here. How did they get? And there's the thing about a land bridge. That's not real. There was no land bridge in that short a period of history. It's a huge mystery how First Nations people got here. Pizza Gaming, my opinion on people being gender fluid. Look, gender is really complicated. It's really complicated. And I get that some people go, no, you're male and female. No, if you actually know anything beyond sort of high school biology, human sexuality and gender identity is a big fucking mystery. You know, you can make certain broad assumptions, but there are millions of exceptions to those assumptions. Leov, the only thing, like, if there could have been a land bridge from Australia to the near Asian things, some absolutely huge cataclysm, like a huge earthquake of spectacular dimensions, and I believe there is no geological evidence for that. I could be wrong, but there should be some significant geological evidence if they haven't. But it's a mystery. Like, there could have been. No, you can't know for sure what was happening 40,000 years ago. There could have been, but we don't have any evidence of it, is the big thing. The thing. Finn, what about feminism? I am a supporter of feminism. Almost all of my female friends actively identify as feminist. Pizza gaming. Am I a tits or ass man? See, that's a good question. I just like women, basically. I like all the bits. And yes, you know, I like boobies. I like bums. I like faces. And in fact, that's probably what I noticed first. But I'm not really isolated because I just find women attractive, basically. Um, so yeah, I know a lot of people do identify like I'm more attracted to boobs or more attracted to bums. I'm not really more one the other. Leo, you're right about people crossing Northeast Asia to North America, but know that there's the ice bridge. You could go from Russia across the top. And also, with North America, you're not talking about 40 to 60,000 years ago. By that stage of migration, shipping had advanced more. 40 to 60,000 years ago, we don't have any evidence that there was things. Oh, good. 80's up. I'll see if he wants to call in. Calling in for a live stream to say hello. Yeah, because he misses everyone. Oh, it's this same sad little boy. Yeah, Jatmar, I know we always joke that when it's one of the bearing disciples that it's bearing, but yeah, I think the person is somewhat lower than bearing. They're just like a sort of limpet thing affixed to bearing's ass. Hey Chris, how's it going? Yeah, I don't think it's the stain. I think it's one of the shit stains. The shit that hangs around the stain. It's just I find it hugely amusing that there are these people who obsess over me and I don't even know they exist. I mean, seriously, thing to do if you don't like something I say or do is to ignore me. Okay, I think AT's going to call. I know. Oh, yeah, actually, oh, Leo, Bering hates me. That's the thing. I don't watch Bering. I have no opinion of Bering, but he hates me and is obsessed by me and keeps making attack videos. So yeah, I'm not bothered by him one way or the other, but he's obsessed with me. I just think, seriously, how sad does your life have to be that you make multiple, waste the time making multiple accounts just to say, yeah, oh, Grant, I'm glad that you stayed for the content. I mean, like I said, Baring's entitled to say whatever he wants. Um, uh, Neither here nor there with it. I think he's super upset that I won't buy into it, that I won't make response videos. I mean, it's cool. He can say whatever he wants. You know, I don't let people like that define me or what I do. I mean, if I was really cynical, if I wanted like way more viewers and, you know, more infamy, I'd engage in the drama and amp it up and pick fights and it's but I just don't care. It's like, it's cool, man, do whatever you want, but I'm just not going to use up my time for it. Thursday night, Chatma. Only people generally hear it because we plan to get here. Like The Simpsons on 6 o'clock back in the day. Yeah, I have to admit, back in the 90s, I watched The Simpsons quite religiously. I do occasionally watch one of the new seasons, and it's like, yeah, I might get one or two smiles out of an episode. But to me, I think the real telling thing with The Simpsons is no one uses no one uses memes after the first 10 seasons, basically. Uh, that's how you can tell it doesn't have the cultural currency at all. So, yeah, Leonard Nimoy. Yes, the cosmic ballet continues. That was the funniest thing because at that time, most people who watched The Simpsons were huge nerds, so would be super excited about being in the same place as Leonard Nimoy. But Leonard Nimoy was being so weird. That guy's like, does someone want to swap seats with me? That was my favorite thing about that. Uh, I'm just fascinated at how pathetic one person can be. Oh, so this what I've learned relatively recently. If someone, oh, here's AZ. Hello, AZ.
Hello, how you doing?
Hey, everybody. Can you hear AZ at all? Is that working? Musical Aviator, the troll's boring because it's the same person and they've just got nothing. They're just very, very, very sad.
Oh, that's really very sad because I've got lots and lots and lots. I'm pissed angry, and I'm mildly on the drugs as well.
Yeah, oh, well, mildly, but they're prescription, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's okay. Hey, oh yeah, Jahap was asking a question, AZ. He's talking about there's a book called Dark Emu that was apparently a uni professor did some archaeological study and says he found evidence that like in the way back, Aboriginal Australians farmed animals and kept food surplus and whatnot. Is that something you've heard about?
Yes, that is something I've heard about. There are, in fact, many examples of Aboriginal farming in Australia. One of the most famous examples are the fish traps out at Mile Lakes, and the stone houses they found across the entire north of Australia. And if you've got a house, what that implies is that there's permanency. And if you've got permanency, then you've got a food source at least that isn't going anywhere. So what? See, okay. So like lots of Aboriginal history has been quietly ignored because politically it's more useful to say, oh, look at this band of noble savages that nomadically wandered the land and didn't own anything, so that I can own all of the stuff for free and not have to give anything to anyone or just shoot them if I want. Right? It's much more convenient to do that than to go, oh, look, here's some farmers. They're farming shit. Because I'd have to negotiate with them under British law. Because British law says you can't just go up to farmers and shoot them. because that's how it was back then. But if you could go, hey, there's some nomads, you can go, hey, nomads, you're not allowed to go on this bit anymore because it's fenced it off. So you go, this stone house, just a pile of rocks. Oh, will be soon. And you go, these fish traps are just a temple. Anytime you get evidence farming, you just say it's just something else. The fire stick farming across Australia is extensive, really extensive and really well organised. And the reason we have fuck off bushfires these days is we've stopped fire stick farming.
Yes.
And if we did properly fire stick farm again and manage our wild nature, we'd actually have no big bushfires at all.
Yeah. So, Leo, if you're asking for the evidence, the thing to do would, I guess, if you're really keen, there's probably some extracts online, but you want to look up this book called Dark Emu. That's the study, apparently. Yes, Fiore, yeah. AD's paying us a visit. And hello, Revamped Skunk.
Hi, Revamped Skunk. You are so revamped.
Yeah, and skunky, apparently. So that's good. We like that. But, yes. So, yeah, there was, AD, someone referenced you sound like you're on the gear tonight. That was very perceptive.
That was very interesting because I'm about to be on more gear.
That's when they prescribe you the good stuff, yeah?
Yeah, no, I picked up the good stuff yesterday. And Jason locked up most of it, but some of it is just mine.
Yeah.
So I can just have it whenever I want it. And sort of getting into that tonight because I want to have a sleep. Interesting you called because I was having a bit of a snooze. Oh, fuck yes, I was having a snooze. That was actually my boyfriend Jason. I shouldn't have said his name. I said his name all the time, don't I?
Yeah, no, we say his name all the time.
I thought it was my boyfriend saying I'm coming home from school, which means I've got to do some washing up and get some dinner on.
Okay.
But I'm sick, so I don't have to do any of that stuff, and I can be hammered if I want to.
My God, you're just living the life at the moment, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I am. I'm going to tell you my fucking tale of woe, Angry.
Oh, 18 has a tale of woe to share with us.
I'm going to fucking tell you my tale of woe, right? So, I go to my doctor. Well, no, okay. No, it doesn't go like that, right?
Okay.
I get up in the morning. I'm getting up in the morning. My alarm goes off and it's get up, 80, get up, 80, and then I have a shower. I can't really bend my legs because they're all red and swollen. But I'm gonna go and see the doctor on Friday. But they're really fucking swollen. And I'm getting dried in the shower. When I'm finished the shower, I'm not fucking trying to dry myself in the shower. Let's get
Are you sure? I can actually see that you sort of lose focus halfway through the shower, and then just pull a towel and go, "Got to dry off." Towel's not working. Towels, and you just shouting, "Jason, the towel's broken. It won't get me dry."
I wish Jason hadn't told you that. Anyway, so anyway, I fucking get toweled off and I'm looking at my legs going, Christ, they're really red and really swollen. Oh, it's okay. I'm going to the doctor on Friday. It's Wednesday, yeah? And so I'm drying. And I'm like, with all my manhood, fucking coming out of the shower. So, okay, listen, angry fans, you've got to understand a thing. AG's house is not a palatial mansion.
Well,
It's
you live in a
one-room
multi-story
bed sit atop a large building, right, that I manage. I'm the caretaker of this building full of students. And each apartment is a studio apartment, meaning it's a one-room bed sit with a bathroom attached. Okay, now it's for one person, okay, and it's not big enough for one person. 2 of us live here. Okay, so tell you this much. When you're living in a one-room apartment and there's 2 of you, you fucking learn to communicate. And when you have a fight, you fucking finish it there and then, because there is nowhere to run to. If you fight, you've got to fucking get it finished, because you cannot go anywhere.
Yeah.
You got to sort it out. Anyway, so that's been a big lesson.
I think like when I visit AZ's bedsit, like if you stretch your arms out, you can touch the front door with one hand and like the shower with the other.
Yeah, no shit. That's not bullshit. Like,
it's compact living. It's simple living.
Swing a cat in here.
No, you absolutely cannot.
And I
swing
want
a cat
to,
in.
and Jason likes cats. You'd bash its fucking head in if you swung it.
Yeah, no, to be
and he'd go stop, and cry, and then beat you. And I think it'd be funny. I think what we're going to do is going to make a fake cat, right? A robotic cat. Or get Angry to buy me one. And then just bring it in and say, hey, Jace, that fucking old story, it's true. Because he wants a pet.
We've got to
and
get
I
one.
kept on going, no, you can't fucking have one. And he said, what about a little kitten? Because he loves cats. He just loves and adores cats. And I kept on saying, no, you can't have a fucking cat in our house, because the rules are not allowed to have a cat. Now, of course, state governments changed the rules to say you're allowed to have pets, right?
Yeah.
If you're a renter, you're allowed to have pets. Yeah. And the fucking real estate has said, sure, you can have pets. You are not allowed to bring them through the common areas of the house. Meaning the corridors, the doors, and the roof.
Yeah.
So you would have to get the cat in on a hoist through the window.
Yeah. No, I think what we need to do is get like one of those stuffed cats, but one that meows when you squeeze it. So
yeah.
So then when you do the swing a dead cat thing, you get a meow.
Yeah, fuck yeah. And watch Jason lose his fucking mind. I think that'd be hilarious. Or he would leave and never come back. And that would make me sad.
Yes.
So it is a danger, but I'm prepared to go there.
Yeah. No, I think we could work on that.
Anyway, so I fucking come out of the shower in my manhood. Right? And I put some extra bass in there because I've got some extra bass going on. And then Jason says, what the fuck is with your legs? I'm going, oh, yeah, they're all a bit red and swollen, like other parts of me. Yeah. And he says, fucking, the fuck, your legs are fucked. I'm going, oh, they're kind of hard to bend and they hurt. And he said, no, fuck that shit, we're going to the doctor. And I'm going, no, it's okay. It's, doctor. And he's going, fucking bullshit, we're going to the doctor. I'm going, nah. And I ring up to the doctor and they say, no doctor until Friday. And I'm going, so fuck you, doctor.
Yeah.
And Friday comes, and on Thursday night, I go, so what are you doing tonight? So I'm going to sleep in and do nothing. And I go, all right, because I got to go to school, but I might fucking go later. And then you fuck with. So Friday morning comes, and I've got to go to the doctor. And I'm a little bit concerned about what he's going to fucking say about his fucking red legs of mine. Okay, because he might say the H word. Right, and I've got to be very careful about how I package this, Jason.
Yeah.
So I wake up, and he's like bed, giving him a bit of sleep. And I'm going, hey, gorgeous, I'm going off to dose. He's going, what are you doing? Are you going to dose and come back? I said, oh, no, I'm going to just go to the doctor. You have a crash. See you later. And he goes, you going to the doctor? I'm going, yeah. It's just, just a thing. And he goes, give me 3 minutes, I'm coming with you. And I'm like, fuck, okay, fuck.
You didn't get to sneak
and
out.
Fucking literally 3 minutes later, he's fucking ready. So fucking down, we dose, and then fucking we're on a tram, we go to the doctor. I show the doctor my legs, and he goes, wow, you've got fucking big time cellulitis. You've got big time cellulitis. I'm going to give you some fucking antibiotics and see you on Wednesday. And I'm going, okay, good. This is good. Fucking shit. So I take some fucking antibiotics. And of course, when I take antibiotics, I can shit through a needle. So that's all happening. I'm going, this is all good. My legs are not getting better. And I'm going, that's bad. Because the H word is classically going to come up soon. And then Wednesday happens, and the same fucking thing goes down. Jason's giving me a bit of what you I'm going, oh, I'm going down dose, and yeah, and is he going, yeah. I'll be ready in 3 minutes. And fucking he is. And so after the doctor, and the doctor goes, no, this is fucked. You've got to go to the hospital with this letter. And I go, shit. So I go to the hospital with this letter. Jason doesn't even let me have the letter. He's got the fucking letter. Right? And so fucking, he's got the letter, and fucking, we get to the hospital, we give him the letter, and then they go, oh shit, you better come in. Fuck, I thought we were going to have a 6 hour one where Jason would get bored and we'd go home. No, fucking, in we go. And the nurse goes, oh shit. And then the doctor goes, oh shit. And they say, oh, well, fucking down on this way. Don't even get to go to emergency, you get to go to the short stay unit. Going, oh no, the short stay unit is the unit that fucking God forgot. Go to the shower there is to ask for a fucking disease.
Oh, God.
So fucking that's where I spent my 40th birthday in the short stay unit. You were there.
Yes, I visited, I remember.
It sucked so hard. I was so pissed.
This is the first time in quite a while you've ended up in hospital, isn't it?
So, yeah?
I was saying this is actually the first time in a while you've ended up in hospital. You've dodged it for years.
I have dodged fucking hospital for a long time, and I'm really happy about that. Anyway, fucking but I knew I was sort of in trouble because this fucking cellulitis is a bit fucking full on, and it was getting to the point where Jason had noticed I couldn't walk downstairs one at a time. You know how babies walk downstairs, 1 foot, then the other foot, one foot, then the other foot? I was doing a lot of that, and a lot of I can't fucking get my clothes on. I've got to sit down, put my underpants on, shit like that. There's a lot of that fucking going on, and so Jason was going, fuck, well. Anyway, so I ended up in the hospital, and they go, you got fucking hardcore cellulitis. And then they say, oh, look, here you go, fucking have these fucking antibiotics through a drip. And I'm going, that's never good look. And then they go, all right, look, tell you what, we'll give you a pick line. You know what a pick line is?
Is that the thing where it's like a permanent thing that they can...
That's it. It's a permanent thing, all right? So they stick it in a vein, and the thing travels down your vein to your heart, to the top of your heart, right? And so they can pump shit into you on a regular basis, and it hits your heart and then hits the rest of your body from your heart.
Damn.
So it's a fucking massively fucking hardcore way to get fucking drugs into you. You just fucking zap it through that and away you go. Anyway, so this pick line goes in fucking really easy because I had a great anaesthetist. And fucking I end up in hospital and they keep on pumping shit in there and they go, right, well look, you're in the situation where you should do hospital in the home. Now, hospital in the home is fucked on a regular basis, okay? Because what happens is you've got to stay home for 24 hours a day.
Oh, because they could come in at any time.
Because they could come in at any time. The doctors can come in any time without any notice at all, and they do 3 to 5 times a week. And the nurses give you 20 minutes notice that they're coming, right? Now, for me, because I have to go down and dose once a day, they were nice and gave me 40 minutes notice. Isn't that nice? They gave me 40 minutes notice. Now, this was often fucking pointless because they gave me the 40 minutes notice before the fucking chemist opened. So I'm going, I can't go anywhere. The fucking chemist isn't fucking open. This is not, Jesus fuck. So I just had to fucking quick shower and wait for them. And so they turn up and they had a pump on me, right? Like a little fucking man bag, satchel kind of thing. It was sort of green and went with nothing. And it fucking had leads coming out and went to this fucking pick line, and everyone could see, oh, that cunt has shit being pumped into him. He's obviously sick. Get the fuck away from him. And they did so. So that was kind of cool. I liked that bit. Anyway, I go into the fucking chemist and they go, whoa, you've got a pick line with shit going into you. Are you allowed to have drugs? And I'm going, I'm allowed to have more drugs. And they said, no, you're not. and they gave me drugs, and then I went home and waited for the fucking doctors to turn up. And eventually the doctors turned up after 2 weeks of this shit and said, oh, you've got to go back into hospital because it's fucked. And I'm going, good. This has been a not waste of time. And then fucking back I go into hospital, right? And this is just the craziest part. It gets worse. Right? So they put different combinations of fucking antibiotics into me. And it just gets worse. And then all of a sudden fucking it starts to shrink. The fucking size of the... Ow! I just fell over. That's gay. Because I'm gay. I'm not saying the thing is gay because it's a bad thing. I'm saying it's a gay thing because I'm gay. Anyway, listen.
You're doing it. It's pretty gay, yeah.
You know, I've sucked more fucking cock than a vacuum cleaner in a boy's dorm room, but it's too gay for me. Anyway, I was back in hospital and it started to shrink. Right, my legs started to shrink, but they hurt like fuck. Right, it was weird. As they got smaller, they hurt more. And I said to them, they're hurting more. And so finally they got this nicest nurse ever, right? And the thing is too, I'm incontinent at night. When I had Fournier's gangrene, do you a solid, do not look that up on fucking Google, YouTube, Vision. Don't do that. When I had Fournier's gangrene, they cut nerves around my nether regions that make me aware that I need a piss. And I'm used to it in the daytime, but usually late. So I've usually got to run to the toilet because I've left it late and I've got to run to the toilet, which is funny because I'm slow. And sometimes I piss myself, and Angry just laughs and laughs and laughs. And Angry's kids don't, though. It's weird. They just think I'm disgusting and old. So in the night time, I don't wake up. I'm incontinent at night. And every fucking shift that came on, I tell these nurses I'm incontinent at night, and they go, oh, that's no fucking good. I'm going, well, it is a thing. And one of them fucking just had the gall to say, well, I don't fucking have time to fucking make beds all night. No one fucking told me. And I said, I tell every shift, every time. I don't know why you didn't get it in the handover. Well, it's no fucking good. And she got the shits with me and stormed off.
Look, it has to be a pretty shitty nurse for you to be on their wrong side, because doctors you don't like, but nurses you're always super good to. So I got doubts about this person. They're a bit of a fucking unit, really.
Fucking oath. Anyway, so I predictably pissed the bed. Yeah. She gets the fucking major shit.
Yeah.
Now, she finds out that I pissed the bed because I've gone to get a red basket. Now, the red basket is on a trolley. It's a red bag on a trolley. And it's where all the soiled linen goes. Okay?
Oh, right.
So I go and get one. What are you doing with that? Well, I've got to change my bed over. And I get out of the fucking rack where all the stuff is. I get a couple of new fucking gowns. I get a fucking couple of sheets. I get fucking a new pillowcase. I get a fucking couple of Kylie blankets because it's gone through the Kylie blanket, which means fucking major piss. Kylie blankets are great because they catch all the piss, right? They're like fucking blueies, but fucking industrial. But this one's gone right through the Kylie blanket. It's fucking hardcore. So I get a couple of those, and I raid the fucking linen cupboard. And what are you doing? I'm getting stuff so I can remake the bed. Well, how do you know how to remake a bed? And I said, I've done it a couple of times. And she says, well, I don't have time for this. I'll have to fucking come back later. And because you got to clean it and everything. I said, I can do all of this. Anyway, so she comes back literally half an hour later. I have done everything, right, and filled up the fucking bag.
Yeah.
And I am literally finishing off the last hospital corner. The bed is perfect, right? And she goes, well, what have we got here? And I said, well, I've finished making the bed. Here's the soiled stuff, and this is ready to go. And she rips it open and goes, oh, it's done. And I go, I know. I just told you it's done. Now I've got to put it back together again because you just undid it. But I'll do that, and that's okay. And then she turns around and says, you shouldn't be walking around the hospital without rubberized socks on. And I go, okay, I'll remember that for the future. And she says, also, it's offensive that you're going around with your gown with your bum showing. Now, I don't know if you know about hospital gowns, but they have a slit up the back. You wear them so that the front is where the main part is, and the back is where you do it up. Okay, so you do up all the knots at the back. Now, have you ever tied a shoelace behind your back? That's how you tie up a hospital gown.
Yeah.
So I do that to the best of my ability, but, you know, fuck me, my bum still shows through the slit at the back of the gown.
Yeah.
So they say what you've got to do is put a gown on backwards so that you're completely covered.
Yes.
And, of course, I'm running around in the middle of the fucking night. There is no one around. Everyone is asleep. And yet somehow in my report, every fucking shift, I'm the guy who's running around with my bum exposed. And I'm just going, for fuck's sake, make a bed or fucking leave my bum alone.
Yeah.
And anyway, so I fucking get this done. And she says, you should have a gown on your back. I'm going, well, I'm about to get into bed. I don't want a gown on my back. And she also says, you should be wearing jocks so that no one can see junk. And I'm going, I don't want to wear jocks because I'll piss them every night. Every single night. Well, you should be covering yourself up then. Well, I'll cover myself up then when I'm sleeping. How's that? And she's going, well, I suppose that's acceptable, and wanders off. In the morning, the fucking doctors who always turn up at breakfast give me shit for fucking going around without rubber socks on, for showing my bum, and for showing my junk in bed. And I said, did they happen to mention the incontinence? No. Did they happen to mention that I made my own bed last night? No. Oh, because that's why all of that other shit happened. Oh, I see. Oh, all right. Well, just make sure you go around with rubber socks.
That's the big thing. Go around with rubber
That
socks.
was fucking the fucking final say on fuck you, make your own bed, you fucking piss your bed, and the nurses who do fuck all, because they must have the shittiest nurses on night shift, really, because they do fuck nothing. Anyway, they, you know, and they're also very busy because they've got more patients because they're asleep. Yeah. And they've got to fucking wake you up and do your blood pressure every fucking 2 to 3 hours. And I'm awake anyway because I'm in too much pain to sleep. And I sleep when I can. And, of course, in the daytime they give me drugs and I can sleep, and I usually do. But then they say, oh, he's gone to sleep, and I wake straight up and I go, no, I'm meditating. And I am actually meditating, because you can sleep and direct your daydreams. It's a really good way to write. Okay, so you start to go to sleep and you start to dream and you direct your dream. All right, and you keep one ear open for the outside world, and so to remind you to be awake enough to direct your daydream, and you can direct the way the story goes, and then you can write that down later on, which is great because I've actually written a whole Escape from Stalag Luft RMH, which will be coming out in audio form in the next few weeks. Yeah. because I started writing it in hospital. Angry's got the teaser trailer, and we'll be playing it to you soon, but I'm in the process of finishing step 1, which involves sticking a lot of stuff up your bum. So I did a lot of that. Didn't do a lot of sleeping, which made me mildly irritable. And then I stay in hospital, I don't know, 6-7 days.
Yeah, it was about a week.
Right, about a week. So I'm in there. My legs start to shrink, and they get mildly less red, but they're hurting more and more and more. And there's this amazing nurse, and she brings the pain doctor. She fucking pages the pain doctor at 3 o'clock in the fucking morning. Pain doctor comes and says, you need more fucking drugs, more fucking often, because you're in extreme pain and you're not getting any fucking sleep. And that's really fucking obvious. So she does this, gives me more extreme drugs more often, and I get more extreme drugs more often for 3 days. It's fucking heaven. I'm sleeping of a night time, pissing myself, changing my own bed in my own inimitable style so fast one night that one nurse who was lovely said, oh, I'll change that for you. And I said, I bet you a fucking extra drugs that I'll get it done before you can. And she goes, ha ha, I'll be back in 5 minutes. And I had the bed done, and she went, oh, that's me going and getting the DD keys then. And she didn't renege on the deal.
Nice.
She went and got the extra drugs. And I'm going, you're fucking in my fucking Christmas card list. And I was fucking flying at this point, which was great because I slept again and didn't piss the bed because I'd done that. And woke up in the morning to doctors going, oh, everything's great. I'm going, no, it's fucked. Touch these legs and you'll find how painful they are. And they touch them and they're hot as fuck, right? Which means that there's a lot of, what do you call it? Fucking
infection,
metabolic action going on. And when you touch red skin and there's white underneath it, it means there's white blood cells attacking some kind of fucking bacteria or virus. Okay. And so they'd touch my fucking red legs, which would make me scream in pain. And then fucking they'd go, they're really fucking attacking. Wow, they're still white. Wow, they're still white. Oh, no, now they've gone red. That only took, 10 seconds. And so they're going, right, well, okay, so things are getting better. I'm going, how are things getting better? Well, your legs are shrinking, but it's hurting more. The fucking disease is getting worse. Right, and they say, oh, well, clearly we have to change your fucking penicillin. One of them gave me a rash, and this rash was all over my body. And was giving me fucking rash dots that were the size of between 5 and 20 cent pieces, and was making me scratch all over my body. And some of them were erupting, and they said, oh, you'll be allergic to that one then. And hey, angry viewers, I had a rash dot on my dick.
Oh, well, that's a plus.
And I went, I am not going to scratch that one, for I do not want it to erupt.
Yes.
And you can imagine which was the itchiest one on my body.
So
and I'm going, no, not scratching, not scratching. maybe just have a little scratch down there, a little scratch, little tiny one, just no scratching. This one's not erupting, no scratching.
Yeah.
So then I went into the shower, and it's a hospital, so the hot water can only get so hot, yeah?
Yeah.
Because you get old people in there and you don't want to burn them because they're old.
Yes.
And I'll tell you what, fucking hospital food's really easy to eat with false teeth. Trust me.
Yeah.
Found that out. I had no glue for 2 days because I forgot to bring some.
Right.
And got Jason to bring me some. And I could still eat hospital food with no glue in my teeth.
Okay.
Which meant that they were wobbling around, but I could still chew. So I'm guessing I know who they make the food for. Anyway, I am in the shower and go as hot as possible, and I realise that the heat from the shower is actually simultaneously scratching and destroying the rash. So I'm fucking bending my cock into the fucking shower stream as much as I can to scratch this itch. And because I have an extreme danger of disco dancing, no one's going to know what that means.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a symbol on the hospital which is risk of falling, yeah? And it's an orange sign with somebody and a line and somebody with one leg up and two arms up and one foot up, and it looks like they're fucking giving it a little bit of Saturday Night Fever.
Yeah.
So me and Angry have called it an extreme risk of disco dancing. I was going to get a photo to fucking to put on the podcast. Yeah. Have you got a photo of extreme risk of disco dancing?
I don't think so.
I'll try and find one when I go back to the hospital, because I've got to go back to the hospital eventually. Yeah. I'm going to have a big fucking fight with my doctor tomorrow to get this PICC line out. I left the fucking PICC line in when they discharged me. Right? Now, this is the thing I'm pissed off about. Okay. So, when you're in hospital, all your drugs are free.
Yeah.
Okay? The moment you are discharged, all your drugs are charged to you. The moment you're discharged. Okay? And you're discharged the moment you walk out of the ward. Now, they said as soon as your breakfast is finished, like my legs are still fucked, but they just all give up. And they're all like, there's 3 teams looking at me and they're all fucking punting me around to each other, going, I don't want him, I don't want him, I don't want him. Yeah. And so they say, oh, it's good, then you can go home. And I'm going, you fucking cowardly fucks, you've given up, and now you're fucking sending me home. Yeah. And they said, oh, we'll send you home with good pain relief. This was the pain doctors, those lying, cowardly fucks, right?
Yes.
And they've said before, well, because you're on the program, we're legally not allowed to give you fucking drugs. This is the doctor at home drug, people, and the doctors in the hospital are a bit different because they're closer to the program people. So they can sort of shift around the program people, and the program people go, yeah, no. And so a lot of the doctors wanted to really up my drugs a lot. And the program people were going, no, you can only up it a little bit. And then finally, one of the actual pain people turned up. This was the nice one, the good angel in the middle of the night. And she fucking upped it through the moon because she's officially part of that system. And I was just going, that's awesome. And the pain people said, yeah, we're going to send you home with appropriate pain control for this. And we're going to give you a change in medication, which is going to help with pain. And we're going to give you a change in what do they call it, antibiotics to kill this off. Finally, I'm fucking started. Anyway, so then they say, okay, as soon as your breakfast is ready, you can go down to the transit lounge, which is the fucking war Centrelink that Jesus forgot. Saddest, most ugly place. It's all full of old people waiting for fucking rides back to fucking old people's homes. It's all full of people going, my child isn't coming till 5 o'clock and it's like 10 o'clock in the morning. It's all full of people going, where's my fucking ambulance, because I've been waiting 2 hours, and they say, oh, well, they wait for 5 other people to go to your district, so you're not getting one until there's 5 other people, which could take another 6 hours. And you're just going, that's fucking nuts. And then they go to me, who's picking you up? And I'm going, no one. I'm getting on a fucking tram. And they go, oh, we usually like people to come and get picked up. I go, well, I usually like to get cured from a hospital. But since that hasn't happened, I thought I'd change some traditions down here too. they get all miffed about that. And, what's going on? I'm waiting for the pharmacist to give me a paper bag full of drugs and then I can go. And then I thought I'll pay for them while I'm fucking here because I might as well. And I've got this debt that I've got to pay as well, so I've got to pay that as well. And then I can these drugs that I'm paying for, a lot of them were actually prescribed to me as I was an inpatient. So as a result, I'm going to sue them for that money back, and you can get that. You get the ombudsman to say they gave you that while you're an inpatient, so you get that back. Anyway, so they fucking get my drugs ready. There's no pain drugs in there at all. The fucking pain people reneged on absolutely everything they said. Absolutely fucking everything they said. They didn't take the pick line out. I had to withdraw my own fucking cannula because there was no one there to do it, so I had to do it myself. I had to draw another cannula out of my leg because there was no one there to do it. I had to do it myself. And the nurses at the fucking transit lounge go, oh, I see you've had to do that. And I said, yeah, where's your shaft thing? Oh, it's over here. So I've put it in there, and I've gone, have you got a dot? Because it's unseemly to be bleeding and pissing blood in the hospital. And they've gone, oh, yeah, okay, well, it's over here. And so I put another dot on. And then the nice girls upstairs in immunology say, oh, we've got fucking some supplies for you at home fucking immunising it. Once a week I put needles in myself to give myself white blood cells. That's a little bit like a vegetarian vampire.
I like that.
Blood to survive.
Yeah.
But only the white blood cells because I'm an Aryan. And I fucking do this to make my immune system make it look like I don't have AIDS. Because that was another fuck up from these same doctors at the same fucking hospital. So then I leave this place. I go up and get my stuff, then I promptly fucking realise they've given me the same fucking antibiotics that they started with. I didn't have to go to hospital at all.
That's unfortunate.
They were just giving me the same shit and left me at home and said, keep your legs up. It's ridiculous, this whole fucking invention. It didn't need to happen. Me and Angry have got this big project fucking coming up, and I fucking lost fucking 3 weeks because of this bullshit, and now Angry's back at work and we've lost all of that time, and they gave me this, I can't, I'm so pissed. Anyway, beyond that, fucking things going great.
Well, it's always a roller coaster with you, Daisy.
Yeah, I know.
Oh dear. Oh well, it's some interesting feedback. While everyone's fascinated. Tara was saying she had cellulitis as well. Took about a year to get cleared up. You're talking about flashing your gear. Tara apparently is keen on flashing boobs while in hospital. So, you know, there's something for everyone. When you did the bum at the back of the gown thing, the story that reminded me of way back when AZ had the Fournier's gangrene and the almost dying and stuff, and all that fun stuff. Being in hospital, how long were you actually in hospital that time? It was a long time.
It was 5 months, then it was 4 months, so it was 9 months altogether, with a 2.5 month break in between.
So when you got out, all your famous friends did a fundraising thing to help pay some bills you had.
Which was fucking awesome of them. It was really nice. There was about 3,000 people there. And there was really, really famous fucking comics there giving me a benefit, which is fucking awesome. And they made like a heap of fucking money. And my wife said, oh, I spend all this money on you, so you should give it all to me. I'm going, I'll give most of it to you, but I'm going to keep $5 grand to myself. And I don't know what she spent the 16 grand on, but it went. And I saw nothing of it. I didn't see what she did with it, but it just went away. And I'm going, I'm sure you didn't pay 16 grand on hospital bills. I'm sure you didn't do that. I don't know what you've done with your money. I know that she gave her own mother 36 grand without telling me. Every time I had a gig, I gave her 90% of the gig. And I found out later that she gave her mother 36 grand. And I told her mum that I'd found this out. And her mum didn't even have the grace to thank me. What a bitch.
Yeah. Well, I remember the benefit, the headliner was Rose McManus. He was the last one on and he did a thing where he was talking up on stage, and I love it when Rove does live stand up. Because on TV, he's the squeaky clean, your mum's favourite.
He's squeaky clean, lovely guy. When he's on fucking stage, he's fucking awesome.
He's so filthy. His live stuff is so filthy. And
but then so is Adam Hill, by the way. Adam Hill is the filthiest cunt you've ever heard. Live. He's so much fun.
And but Rove did his little bit, and he said, "Okay, now bring the man of the moment up. Like, come on, say." And he didn't actually know how bad a shape you were in. You had like a Zimmer frame, a walking frame. And,
I did.
And it took you ages. And by the time he saw you in the crowd, and he felt really bad, like, "Oh no, I didn't realize." You were like, "I'm already committed. I'm coming up there." And so AZ got on stage and did a little bit, and the crowd loved it. And the reason I remember this is because the bum hanging out of the gown, because AZ was actually wearing a hospital gown, because he couldn't, because of the truly horrific nature of what was between his legs. And I mean, honestly,
truly horrific.
Honestly, I'd still say that now. Like, if people say, "Hey, are you and AZ close?" I would say no, because of the truly horrific nature of what's between his legs. Still to this day. But if this was just post-surgery, so it was pretty gruesome. So he couldn't make the pants ring. So he's wearing a hospital gown, and he gets up and he does a little bit, and everyone loves him. And then he unashamedly just turns 180 degrees and leans forward on the frame. So his bum is sticking straight out of the gown and then just really slowly shuffled as slow as he possibly could, just hanging his ass out to the crowd.
And the crowd pop was fucking awesome.
They did like it. The
crowd pop was awesome. The crowd fucking loved that bit. They thought that was fucking cool. They went, he's actually in a hospital gown. He's actually escaped hospital to do this. Wow.
And he's not wearing anything under it. So it's like, and the fact you did it so slowly, you just turned, leaned over so your bum was sticking straight out, and then just did the really slow shuffle. The bum hanging out the whole way.
The irony was, yeah, it was slow, but I couldn't have gone much faster.
No. It was about the speed you moved at. But you could have been really circumspect and went, oh, go from the side, so my bum's not hanging out.
Nah, fuck it. I was going to go full bum shot. Yeah, they loved it. I really loved it.
Yeah.
It was a good night, that one. It was a good night. Everyone did a really good job.
Yeah. I did particularly like one of the acts on the stage was Charlie Pickering, and he had some lines that I really liked. He's going, oh, the only reason I'm here is because I misread the email and thought it was an AIDS benefit. Not an AIDSy benefit. But I'm here now. I'm not sure if my material still works. Let's see if I can just swap out AIDS for AIDSy. Let's see. AIDSy is ruining lives around the planet. Yeah, that still works.
That's right. He did too. He did a fucking really good job.
It's like AIDSy has touched even children to devastating effect. Yeah, that still works.
Yeah.
It's like you just see this thing and then going, normally I have to be nice, but this is a benefit for my truly perverse friend where I can just say absolutely appalling things.
And they're all true, so fuck him. And ladies and gentlemen, here's and he left the stage to a massive crowd. Well, I tell you what was weird that night was the juniors got up first and put it on so hard and so thick that the seniors started to go, oh fuck, the bar's been actually raised. I better fucking put something in here. And everyone pushed the bar up. And so what happened was you got real seniors coming on going, I actually better bring my A game because otherwise I'll look like a cunt. And everyone in the crowd was just going, this is a magic night of comedy. And it fucking truly was. And what was the other sweetest thing that I thought was the nicest thing was Rove had lost Belinda a couple of years previous and was dating Tamsin before they got married. It was Tamsin's coming out to the crowd. She was nervous as hell because all of comedy was there, like fucking all of comedy was there. And everyone loved Belinda. Like everyone loved Belinda. She was the nicest girl. And Tamsin was going, fuck, I've jumped in this woman's grave and fucking, and of course, fuck it, I'll say it now because what was bizarre was Tamsin actually introduced Rove to Belinda. And Belinda started to set up Tamsin with Rove before she died.
That's very funny
because she basically didn't want Rove to be alone. And we sort of all know that now because of what behaviour she was pulling. And she said to Tamsin, he's going to need a place to hide when I die. And your family's got a place on the South Coast.
Yes, that's right. They stayed up the coast for ages.
And she said, yeah, no worries. And they organised with the family and he bailed. He bailed for months. The Rove show just stopped. And what was really nice was the Rove crowd kept on getting paid. The Rove company kept on getting paid, and all the Rove projects were given Bibles, and they all went ahead without Rove because he'd actually set this up knowing this was going to happen, and he'd actually set everything up, and he'd made sure everyone was going to get paid, and no one lost their job, and everyone put in like 180%. And then by the time Rove came back, he didn't. I think he did like 3 more shows and quit.
Yeah.
And like just fucking ended out the season and went. And then fucking all of his other shows took off.
Yeah.
And so he had the fucking financial wherewithal to just fuck off and do nothing, and did so. And then he and Tamsin got together, which was the sweetest thing. So that they chose that night to come out together. And I was managed to be in the back room having a quick smoke because I still smoked at that point. And I was smoking in the dunny because, you know, classy people do that. And I was, yeah. And I was saying to Tamsin, it's so gorgeous to see you. You're such a fabulous human being. And there's a heap of comics around, and they were sort of nice, but sort of standoffish. And I gave Tamsin a really big hug, and I said, "Thank you so much for being here. It's really sweet of you." And I'm so glad that you're with Rove. It's you guys make a fucking great couple. I hope you guys are really happy together, because it's fabulous to see you guys together. And because they've been getting a little bit of shit in the tabloids as well, right?
Yeah.
And the comics all just fucking went, yeah, you guys are fucking great. You guys are fucking great. And Tamsin was so fucking happy with me for fucking giving it a little bit of push. And Rove was giving it a little bit of fucking your rule. That I have a really weird place in my heart. You know, that it was like, you know, I fucking gave it the papal blessing. And all the senior comics just fucking went for it. And of course, whatever the senior comics do, the junior comics immediately follow. And that was the night that they were a power couple. And have been ever since. And Rove just got back from America with his lovely wife and I think 2 daughters now. And he's coming back to TV in Australia. He's been here for a little while, but he's been bored out of his fucking mind, and so he's basically come back into TV.
He's doing a lot of voice work for animation these days.
Yeah.
He's done a couple that have been on Foxtel in Australia. Kids ones. He's not trying to be edgy and do adult stuff. He's doing voice work for kids cartoons.
Yeah. Because it's fun. I mean, we've both done it.
Yeah.
You and I have done it. And it's fun to do.
We're lucky enough to have an insanely talented animator friend who wants to work with us again. Which is going to be fucking awesome. When this happens, it's going to be fucking awesome. This is this big project I'm telling you about that me and Angry are going to do soon. When I get off my ass and write it, when I get better. Because at the moment I'm fucked. But I am going to get this fucking podcasting done because I know how to fucking edit fucking sound on a phone now. I can actually edit a fucking piece on a fucking iPhone. It's hard to do, but once you get the fucking basics down, you can actually get it together. You can fuck it up
so easily that you lose a whole chunk of work.
Yeah.
You can fuck it up so easily, but you can actually get multiple copies of your edits as well. So you can do a thing, make a copy, do an edit, make a copy, do an edit, make a copy, and then revert back to the one that you didn't fuck up, and delete the one that you fucked up, and then redo the edit, making a copy. And it's really, it's once it took me 2 nights of not being asleep in hospital to work it out, and I did it. And I sent Angry a teaser trailer, but I will be doing the rest of them soon. And we then will probably work out how to do a podcast, because we can do that from our own homes. And I think I've worked out how to do it, but I'll talk to Angry about that later, because it's going to be a lot easier. Because the Angry AD podcast should be fun, because we'll make a time limit and we'll have a format. Because did you listen to that podcast I told you about?
Which one?
Distorted View.
No. Oh, sorry. Yeah. I just don't listen to podcasts ever. I never. It's just, I don't know. I've never got into it.
No. Fully, because they're mostly shit. But this one's really fucking good. And this guy's done radio training, obviously, and it comes through.
Yeah.
And if you've done radio training, obviously, which me and Angry have, you can actually do a really good podcast. Yeah. And this guy does a really good podcast and is a really foul, disgusting man.
Well,
He's a disgusting man. You will love him.
We're always going to do an anonymous one that we called the Mayors of Wrongtown, where we just said just all the worst shit we can imagine. But
this guy's beaten us.
Oh, Trust me. That's saying
Trust
something.
me, he's beaten us to the Mayors of Wrongtown. I thought we were going to do that too. Yeah. And then I listened to this guy, and I had peace in my heart, knowing that I will never, ever be the Mayor of Wrongtown.
All right.
Because he is the king. He's my lord. I might be the Mayor of Wrongtown, but he is the Lord King of Wrong Country.
He's the king
and
of
so
wrong
I owe tribute to him once a year. And so that's why I push my farmers for taxes, so that I can have my small fiefdom to his lordship of Wrong Country. He's the king of Wrong Country. You need to listen to this guy, Distorted View.
Okay, I'll try and remember to. Oh, I noticed Locust Trooper making an interesting observation. He thinks you could do a double act, you talking about the horrors of the hospital thing, and he talking about the shit he's had to go through with the mental health system, be a major comedy double act.
Mental health system is an interesting place. My brother is a psychologist.
That's right, yeah.
And we talk about the mental health system a lot.
Yes.
And he fucking fights psychiatrists. Now, psychiatrists are doctors, right, like GP doctors, who do specializations as psychiatrists, and they give you funny brain drugs.
Yes.
Psychologists are scientists who have to prove what they're going to do is going to work, and they give you talking stuff.
Yes.
They don't give you funny brain drugs, they give you talking stuff.
Yeah. Also, I'm familiar with this. Mrs. Angry is a psychologist. So she does her brain magic stuff. But yeah, psychiatrists prescribe drugs, and psychologists actually do it with words.
Yeah. That's right. And they're constantly fucking barking at one another as being witch doctors. Because the psychologists go, you're completely fucking unscientific. And psychiatrists go, you're completely fucking useless. Because when you've got an actual fucking brain chemical disorder, you need a psychiatrist. Now, I am in the bizarre situation of having a GP, a psychologist, and a psychiatrist who talk to one another like colleagues. And so they've got me on funny brain drugs. I might have some more, actually, now that we're here. Just because, you know, they're in the box, aren't they?
Actually, while you go for the completely legitimate mind-altering substances that are being prescribed for you.
Oh, I might have had too many.
I so shouldn't be laughing. But okay. And another question I wanted to fire from you is Toby's asking, and he was asking on behalf of our regular Celtic King, who's apparently in trouble on assault charges at the moment. But because I don't remember Celtic King. I don't remember if you remember one time we were together, Celtic King telling us he had a Pornhub account and he wanted you to look because he posted dick pics there.
Right.
You never actually looked, did you?
No, I never did because my internet fucking shut itself and I had to fix it, and the owner was coming to fucking purge the files, and I thought I better not have a Pornhub.
You don't want that in your browser history.
File purge there. Yeah. But I still want to look at the dick pics, yeah.
Yeah, of course. And the other thing he keeps asking is if you and Jason are monogamous. I actually thought you were, but I wasn't sure. So, you know.
We sort of are.
Yeah.
But if we see something that we go, yeah, we'll have a bit of that as a man sandwich, we talk to one another and go, yeah, let's have that.
I think Celtic King has his hopes up, basically, is what I'm saying.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, we'll check it out, and I'll talk to the Jace man, and if Celtic King fucking makes Jason go woohoo and makes me go woohoo, Celtic King's got a couple of things that he's got to overcome first, that he doesn't know about yet.
But life's full of surprises, so.
Celtic King's got to understand that life's full of surprises. And some of these surprises are full fucking on. Yeah. It's time for me to have more fucking drugs, as in fucking, you know what they call them, antibiotics.
Oh, right.
And they suck ass because they make me shit a lot. Yeah. But I'll still talk to you on my own shit. I don't mind. I'm not that kind of.
Safa's, we were talking about internet. Safa's asking if you have NBN. Now, you're like basically in an apartment building with a shared connection, but it's not NBN, is it?
Not yet, but it's going to be.
Well, we're all going to be. They're forcing everyone onto it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, maybe you'll win the lottery like me. They forced me onto it earlier this year, and I was paranoid. I was paranoid it was going to screw up, but it actually improved my internet connection, which was a fucking minor miracle from some of the stories I've heard. So, I mean, hopefully...
it'll have to improve our internet connection because our internet connection is truly fucked in a way that is... Okay, so we have 17 people who are sharing one ADSL2 line. So can you imagine how congested that is at around 3 p.m?
Yeah.
And then at around 7 p.m? And then at around 9 p.m. And people fucking watch Twitch TV on their fucking internet connection, and people try and upload fucking essays, and people lose their minds, and then they all ring me. going, can you fix the internet connection? And I go, yes, I'll reset it, which means I'll turn it off and on again. And what happens is that everybody who's playing fucking World of Warcraft gets kicked off the server and has to go through the malarkey of getting back on. And everybody who has to get the essay in can get it fucking finally uploaded. And everybody who watches Twitch TV has to finally get back to where they were watching. And so everyone gets 15 minutes of clear air. And then finally everyone gets their shit uploaded. They're happy, and then they start watching YouTube, and it can handle YouTube because YouTube's, of course, tiny and compressed. And they do a great fucking job of that. Trust me, if there wasn't YouTube, I'd cry and die. Because everyone can get YouTube at the same time.
Yeah.
It's great because all the music that comes out of the place is coming out of YouTube.
Okay. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I mean, so relieved. Like what I used to have, because I've had a cable connection for ages because I had the Foxtel TV, and what that was fast download and really shitty upload. And when I moved house, like just over a year ago, moved to a couple of suburbs. And
Jesus, is that a year now?
Yeah, no, it was April last year.
Oh, Christ. Where's the fucking time going?
I know, right? So I moved a year ago, and the internet connection wasn't as good. It wasn't as stable. It was okay, but it wasn't as fast, the downloads. And then they did the NBN connection, and the download got a bit faster, but most importantly stabilized. But without word of a lie, the upload speed is 10 times faster. Because with Telstra, with the cable, what they did, they put all the bandwidth into download, because they went 99% of our subscribers only care about download. So you get like 100 MIPS down and only 2 MIPS up. And now I get like
I get more of that.
Yeah. Now there's a compromise. I get like 40 MIPS down and 20 MIPS up. So YouTube videos, instead of taking an hour to upload, take 5 minutes to upload. So
and you can actually do live fucking chat.
Yeah, and the live stream is much more. And this is on Wi-Fi. I'm not even connected. Like at the other house, I could do live streams as long as I was connected by cable.
Right.
But this is on Wi-Fi. I'm doing this on Wi-Fi.
Wow.
And it's legend. So, but so many people have such a bad experience with NBN. I felt so lucky that it actually improved my service. But yeah, Tara's pointing out the problem.
So people are saying that NBN is slow, because that fucking blows my mind. How is that because of the shitty copper connection?
Yeah, the fibre to the node thing that fucking Libs put in.
Yeah.
Some people, when they've switched from ADSL2 to NBN, have got worse performance.
That's awesome.
So that's kind
of shit. Fucking awesome.
You shouldn't, because where you are located physically, it actually should be much better.
Well, we are physically located literally up the road from an exchange.
Yeah.
Which is the only way our fucking internet works. Yeah. With 17 people on one fucking line, right? It's the only way it works. But also, they're putting the line for the NBN out the front of our house.
Yeah, you should be much better. Like you should be in fucking heaven when NBN switches over. The only trouble is, although I suppose that was true of ADSL as well. If the power goes out, no communications. Because that's a weird thing, because your phones switch onto the NBN as well. Like your phone is not on the old phone network. So that was the thing in the old days. If you had a power outage, your phone would still work because it was connected to the copper and didn't need power. The brave new NBN world, your phone's going through the NBN. So if your modem goes out, you got no phone. But who?
Yeah, but we've got no phone lines in this house.
you know.
No one got a permanent phone line in the house. Everyone needs to use their mobile phone. We've got no doorbell.
Yeah.
So if someone wants to come in the house, they have to ring our mobile phone to go down and get them.
Yeah.
One time, a guy I know who is probably in jail now, you know who he is, hung around the front of the house asking people if they could go and get ASI for him.
Right.
And he was indignant because 3 people who came out went, no, and just left the house.
Yeah.
And wouldn't let him in.
Yeah. That's correct,
and
yeah.
one person said, could you go because I'm going to call the cops? And he said, that's fine because I want to see ASI. And if you get ASI, he'll tell the cops that I'm supposed to come in. I need to see him, but I don't have a phone, so I can't call him. And so this girl comes up and said, this really creepy guy wants to see you. And I went, okay, I'll come down. Oh, hey, man, how you doing? Come on up. And so I've come on up and I've brought him onto the balcony and cleared the fucking balcony within 3 minutes. Everyone just went, this guy exudes badness and street smell, and I'm leaving. And I haven't heard from him for ages. He was on bail for an assault charge and then got done for another assault charge. And he was calmly going around the world. And I said to him, don't you think that when your hearing for your second assault charge comes up and you're going to be on bail for the first assault charge, that they're going to say you've broken your bail and put you straight in jail? And he said, no, it won't work like that. I think it's worked like that.
Well, of course, we do know some colourful people. And in fact, when I say we, I only know them through you. But we do know some colourful people like our quote-unquote witch friend from Geelong, who this is a real thing. Like one New Year's Eve.
This is a real thing. This has really happened.
AZ introduced me to this person, and he basically told me she's like, pay no attention, okay? There's reality, and it has no connection to her, and that's cool.
Yeah.
She thinks she's a witch. So the funny thing is, I found this. You know how I look for news stories of wacky stuff to make videos about, and I found this one of an incident that happened at Geelong, and I showed it to AZ, and I said, let's do this one, and he goes, oh fuck, do you know who that is? And it was this person. What she had done, she was driving an unregistered car with no license.
With no license.
And a cop pulled her over and said, what's the story? And she said, I don't need those things because I'm not answerable to your laws because I'm a higher being from another planet. At which point, the cop made, in my mind, a completely legitimate judgment call that she was probably on drugs and said, yeah, you can't go anywhere. And she's going, no, you have no power over me. I'm a being of pure ether. And
and a sovereign citizen.
That's right. She pulled the sovereign citizen shit as well. And he reached in the window of the car to
grab the car key.
Get the keys out of the ignition. And she hit the accelerator with a cop leaning in her window. She hits the accelerator and takes off up the road and drags the cop down the road. And she, in all seriousness, expected to get away with this. When she went to court and stuff, she was, I have nothing to answer for. And she was apparently really quite surprised when she did jail time as a result of that. So
yeah, she was stunned. She was fucking stunned when they took her down. She said, what defense have you? And she said, well, I'm a higher being. I'm a sovereign citizen. I'm this, I'm that. And I'm a being of ether. So, he shouldn't have done any of that, which was offensive
Your
not only
laws don't
to
apply to
all
me.
women, it was offensive to all women, and blah, blah, blah. And the judge goes, right, you've assaulted a police officer and caused grievous bodily harm. You've got no records, so you can have 6 months suspended and 4 months behind bars.
Yeah.
And she's gone,
evaluation.
what do you mean? Well, I was looking for my payout for
yes, my compensation
for compensation, criminal compensation, and he's going, right, while you were looking for that, which is fair enough that you were looking for that, what's actually going to happen is you're going to go now to jail. And she said, but I've got an appointment this afternoon, and I've got to go and feed my blah, blah, blah. And the judge goes, how this works is we take you now to jail, and nothing that happens outside your life, nothing that happens outside jail gets done. Unless you have friends to do stuff, nothing gets done. If you've got keys on you and you've got friends in this courtroom, throw your keys to them now, because nothing will happen.
Yeah, you're going
and so she's looked through a bag and threw her keys at her friends, who've basically moved into her house, trashed it, lost one of her animals, and then when she got out of jail, she found out that no one had paid any rent, and she was evicted. She's no longer a sovereign citizen.
Yeah, it's yeah, when you get jail time and a psych eval on top of it, and it's just like
Mind you, she did get to spend most of her jail time on her own, because the psych eval said if we let her into Gen Pop, they'll kill her.
Yeah, like our poor unfortunate friend Video Dude, who can't stop being a dick and keeps getting beaten up in jail, apparently.
What's that?
Well, you remember Video Dude, who was a little bit obsessed, but then started being a dick and wouldn't stop, so I banned him. He wrote those really long, freaky, rambling letters in time. Yeah. Well, he's in jail. Because he was on the droogs, and when the cops picked him up in public for being obviously under the influence, and frisked him, and he had the droogs on him, and his response to that was to punch the cop.
No, never a good rule.
Yeah, so
never a good go.
He's in
Don't
jail,
punch the cop.
and our friends who are from the same neighbourhood, Toby and Celtic King, give us updates, and basically, because he can't stop being a Fruit Loop, he keeps getting beaten up in jail. He keeps saying outrageous, aggressive stuff to people, and they beat the snot out of him. And
they'll do that.
I just feel really bad. It's like, dude needs help big time.
Yeah, but the funny thing in jail is you can go through jail and go borderline personality disorder, borderline personality disorder, borderline personality disorder. There's these big bodies with little kids inside them.
Yes.
And they have no control over their emotions whatsoever, but fucking really big muscles.
Yep, no
so you basically say anything to them and they punch you.
Yes.
And then you grab them and wrestle them to the ground and stand them in front of the wood and say, okay, so you've punched a guy, which means you've now got another 6 months on your sentence, and we're going to put you in the hole for 2 months.
Yeah.
Why did you do that? Because he's been a dick.
Yeah.
You know that when people are being a dick to you, you're not allowed to hit them? Oh, yeah. That's right. My anger management said I'm not allowed to hit people when they're being a dick. Well, that was one of those times.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the thing.
And they've had they had one guy run to the warden's office and knock on the door, and it's like, what's wrong? What's wrong? So, oh, there's this guy being a dick to me, and I didn't hit him. Oh, well, that's really well done. And yeah, I see your anger management's paying off. Yeah, I asked my friend to fucking hit him, and it was great. Because I didn't hit him, but my friend fucking kicked snot out of him. It's fucking, I'm really doing well on this anger management. Okay, you've just earned yourself a month in the hole.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to ask other people to kick the shit out of people. Oh, really? I thought that was how it works. You just hit stuff and, you know, it was going to be good. Oh, this anger management shit.
But
So you get a lot of that in jail.
You do get these guys, you know, as you say, they're basically arrested development or borderline personality disorder. And it never actually gets through to them that punching people's a bad idea.
Yeah.
And that's why they get institutionalized, because they go out into the world and they suffer a mild inconvenience and they punch shit out of someone.
Oh, yeah.
While they're on probation. They're actually on probation.
Yeah, and get told with no uncertain terms that if you touch anyone, you're fucking going back to jail for a long fucking time.
I mean, this guy, because where AZ and I met was we went to college in Bathurst, which is west of Sydney, and there's a prison in Bathurst. And, you know,
big prison, big bad boy prison.
And you'd end up, you know, usually a lot of people would, you know, end up having some contact with the prison, like you might visit someone. They'd actually send requests to the college, someone who's got no one to visit them, just saying, oh, can someone come and visit me? I'm alone. Or because we did theatre, we would do performances in the prison.
In the prison, yeah.
Yeah, I got told the most amazing stories, and it's just full-on blokes who did not get, like guys who would be out on probation and would get drunk and go up to cops and tell them what shit they are. And because, well, I'm not in jail at the moment, so you can't stop me from telling me what a piece of shit you are. And I was like, dude, no, that's not how you stay out of prison.
Yeah, that's not only how you know how to stay out of prisons, that's actually not allowed. You're not allowed to tell cops how shit they are, and you're not allowed to tell them how shit they are when you're pissed. Also, when you're on probation, you're not allowed to be pissed. And you know, cops tell me this all the time. They say the saddest thing is you see these guys and they get out, they do their time, and they get out, and their families pick them up, and they go and they have the big celebration, and they have that first beer, because there's no alcohol in prison. It's one of the hardest things to do is to get alcohol into prison. You get shitloads of drugs in prison, but you can't get alcohol in prison. They get that first beer into them. And a lot of these guys are in prison because they get full of piss and bad manners. So they get the first beer into them, and isn't that great? And then half a keg later, they're fucking full of piss and bad manners again. And they'll fucking somehow, it's like some kind of magnet or fate. They'll end up looking at a copper and tell them what a cunt they are, and then fucking they'll go, righto, you've sworn at a cop, you've been aggressive, you're on the piss, you're on probation, you're coming with us. Then they'll punch the cop, and as soon as they do that, it's all over. And they're back in jail, and they've been. Some of these people are out of jail for less than fucking 12 hours.
Oh yeah,
less than 12 hours. They're out of jail, and it's like it's fucking saddest thing. You know, you think their family are taken to a restaurant or something, fucking, but no, because the family fucking knows best. They get a cake to celebrate their son's return, and the party gets really loud, and the cops turn up and fucking. Oh, Jesus. You just go, come on, guys. Did you not see this coming? And family screams and yells that he's being arrested because that's the wrongest thing ever.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then they scream and yell in court, this is all rigged, and the cops, you know, they're hassling his little boy. And he was so good when he was growing up. Back to jail he goes for like several years. And what also gets sad is a lot of these guys start to spend more time in jail than they spend out of jail.
Oh yeah.
And
Jail is
then
full of
what
people who've
happens
been
is they
inside
get out of jail, and it's so weird out there that they can't handle it.
Yeah.
And they go, I don't understand how society works out here. I'm going back to jail. And so they start to commit crimes to get themselves back in jail. And back they go, and then they're there for another 15-year stretch, and they're comfortable again because they know how it works there. You know, like, can you imagine going into jail when phones were all Nokia 5110s?
Yeah,
and coming out to find fucking Apple iPhone 7s.
Yeah. Like, when we were at college in the 90s, it's like, and visiting guys, I remember one guy who we visited saying stuff along the lines of, I don't know how a video recorder works. Could you imagine someone who's in jail now, who's been in there for 10 to 20 years, coming out into the world? It's a fucking alien planet out here.
That's right.
They don't know the internet. They don't know smartphones. They don't know anything.
No, anything about that. The things they're doing a lot of in prisons now is they're introducing computers, and they're introducing the internet. Because what they found is that computers and the internet is so alien to people who have never used it before that without the internet, you can't function. And without a smartphone, without a phone, you can't function. So they don't give them smartphones. They give them like the Telstra $20 phone with the buttons on and a simple text, right? Because they don't want to blow their fucking minds. And, you know, a phone is for phoning people up and for texting people. That's what a phone's for. But they do give them basic lessons on the internet so that when they get out there and everything is on the net, because everything is on the net, including fucking, if you want to watch TV, you download the series on Netflix and you binge watch it over the weekend. Right? If you want to go to the cinema, you choose which cinema show you want to go and see by watching the trailer on the internet, because they don't put them on the TV. They might put them on once, twice a week, but they're on the internet all the time. And you've got fucking commentaries on the trailers, for Christ's sake. There are people who do commentaries on the trailers of movies. Right? And so you get an idea of what I'll tell you what I want to go and see. Do you want to come see with me? It's Ready Player One.
Oh, right. Yeah, I'm not sure about that movie, actually.
I've read half the book.
Oh, right. What did you think of the book?
Amazing.
Okay. Because I haven't read the book either.
Because I've read half the book because it was on the internet, and then they said you can pay for the other half, and I went, no, because I haven't got any money. And then they do it really well. And if the movie is a patch on the book, if it is a fucking patch on the book, it'll be really fucking good.
Oh, well, look, when you're out and
It's
about, I'll do a
it's
movie date with you.
hey.
When you're up and about, I'll do a movie date with you.
We haven't done a movie. We haven't watched a movie with people.
Doing our own director's commentary track.
Yeah, for ages.
No, it's because you haven't been in a fit state to sit still for 2 hours for a while.
Well, I am currently. In fact, I'm supposed to currently. I'm supposed to be sitting with my legs up.
Okay.
All right, and what I need to do is do the washing up, and then I'm going to sit with my legs up and continue eating fucking rice crackers. I'm trying to lose weight, and I need a snack. And so I've been counting my calories, and rice crackers are good for you, calorie-wise.
Right.
You can eat a shitload of them, and they don't fucking pack on the calories. But, you know, they're rice crackers. But I found the Coles version. It's really good.
Okay.
So I've been snacking on them and not fucking eating sandwiches, which has been kind of good, and maybe I've been losing weight, but we'll see.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, I reckon it's just coming up on 10 o'clock now. We might bid these fine people farewell for the evening.
Yeah, righto.
Oh, just you've actually missed this because you're not seeing the chat, but a chap with the username Little Big Dude, he's a prison warder, has been giving his insights, which I found really interesting, and I thank you for sharing. Yeah, he's basically saying, yeah, prison's full of mentally ill people that they're never trained to deal with, and that sucks for both the people interned and the people with the role of warders, quite honestly. The lack of funding and the lack of support is shit for everyone. And it's shit for us when these people get out of jail too.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's ridiculous. You meet people who fucking are curiously aggressive, and what they're doing is they're marking out their square metre of concrete that you're not allowed to cross because that's their turf. Yeah. Because if you cross it, you're obviously being aggressive to them because that's what they've institutionally learned how to do, and it's completely inappropriate for fucking society. Yeah. And you can bump into them and they fucking get right up your ass. Yeah. And it's like, slow down, man. It's all good. Don't worry about it. Nothing's here. There's nothing here. Walk away. Some of them can fucking breathe through it and go, oh, no, it's okay. There's nothing there. But some of them can't. Yeah. Some of them keep going. And they're always intercepted by everyone who's around them. And they suddenly go, oh, I've been intercepted by everyone around me. And that's no good. It's fucked. It stuns me that Jeff Kennett is the fucking patron of Beyond Blue after shutting down all of the mental asylums in fucking Victoria. Yeah. And it's like, dude, is this penance or fucking did you only think there was one thing wrong? You know?
Yeah, if you want an insight into the psychology of that, there's a really dark Australian film from the late 80s, early 90s called Ghosts of the Civil Dead. And
oh, God. That's a watch and a half.
That is a dark. And half the cast are actually...
It talks about the panoptic in prison.
Yeah, half the cast are like career criminals, people who've spent half their life in jail, and the other half are actors. But it's a dark experience, that movie, and it's more about the psychology of jails, and it's fucked.
It's fucked. Ghosts of the Civil Dead. It is fucked. It was one of the best Australian movies ever made at the time, and I think it actually inspired Romper Stomper.
I think the feel of it certainly is there, yes.
Yeah, for sure. It was like it was the first Australian movie that said you can go this dark if you want to.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you want to, you can go this dark, because Australia can go dark. If it wants to, it can Wolf Creek it up.
Yes. Yeah. Anyway, look, it's 10 o'clock. So thank all you fine people for joining us for this evening. It's been one fun.
You rule. You people rule. Even if I'm sick, I'm allowed to talk to you on your device. Thank you so much for inviting me to be on your device. I'm going to try and be on your device in a visual form if I can walk soon as. And me and Angry are going to watch a film for you. Yeah. And we're going to do stuff. And I haven't worked much on that stuff, but there's new stuff that I'm making that Angry's going to share with you.
Dude, I just thought, how funny would it be if we binge watched a series on Netflix? Like 8 to 12 hours.
That'd be kind of cool.
Especially something I hadn't seen. If we did it in one sitting and made a single video of us binge watch something on Netflix.
And did time codes.
Yeah.
For when,
we're starting
when stuff happened.
Now. And just actually real time binge something. That would be hilarious. Because you know that we absolutely start to lose connection with reality after a couple of hours. But
yeah. How long does a binge watch usually take?
It depends. The shows tend to be between 8 and 12 episodes. And so from 8 to 12 hours, basically.
So it's doable with my pharmaceutical fucking schedule, is what we're saying.
Yeah. So that's something we could consider, but a movie at least, definitely.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm loving both of this. Yeah. Thank you so much for fucking letting me on your show.
Yeah. So thanks for calling in, AZ. Thanks for everyone for joining us. We'll try and get back to you again real soon. Hope to see you on the interwebs and the socials. And you all look after yourselves, and we'll see you another time. So bye now. I've hit